Hey everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everyone for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. It is Monday, July 14, 2025. I wanted to come and share this story with you guys about a missing person who has been missing for a very long time. Before I continue, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's watching this video on YouTube. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And everybody who's listening right now on this podcast using Spotify, don't forget to follow me on Spotify, follow the podcast, and also rate the podcast. That really helps me as a creator. Every time somebody goes missing, it's so hard for me to understand at times because we live in the world of technology. Everything is traceable, everything can be monitored, everything can be find out, right? It doesn't take too long for you to find out something or find out where something is. When it comes, like, if you're looking for an address, you're looking for a business, when did they open, when did they close, things like this, right? Information. It's not that hard. But in this case, I understand this happened a long time ago, right? And it makes you wonder, like, how do the family deal with something like this, right? Imagine going on a cruise with your family, and when it's time to return, the next day after you spending time in the cruise, enjoying your time there, one day you wake up and you realize your sister is gone, right? And you're there with your brother, your mom and dad, and your sister, and one day in the morning you realize she never made it back to her room in the cruise. So, and hasn't been since, right? It's so crazy, it's traumatizing. There is a new Netflix documentary that's coming out about Amy Bradley. That's the person who I'm speaking about. The disappearance of Amy Bradley, who went missing. I believe it was, let me give you the exact date. She went missing, I believe it was 2010, not sure. Oh, I was wrong. She actually went missing in 1998. Okay, so let me read to you guys exactly what happened. I feel like I had seen her photos like for a very long time. I remember watching this case on America Most Wanted and being like, "Wow, how can this happen? Right? How can nobody see anything?" Right? Because in a cruise, I never been to one, but I know there's always a lot of people, a lot of staff working. They have security, they have cameras, they have, they even have a little jail if somebody, misbehaving till they get to port. They have a lot of things. And even though this happened like in the late 90s, like it's still like, they have cameras back then. So it's just hard to believe that she hasn't, there's no information still on her. Like I said, Netflix is coming on July 16th, so 2 days from today, they're going to release a documentary about the disappearance of Amy Bradley. Decades ago, it says here, the search for a Chesterfield woman who went missing on a cruise ship is getting renewed attention as Netflix prepared to stream a docuseries about the case next week, which is this week, I'm sorry. So I'm very happy, like I'm looking forward to watching it. A picture can worth 1,000 words, but Bradley portrait, excuse me, I don't know why I can't pronounce it. Bradley's picture with her sister is priceless. So I'm looking at a photo of them. Let me see if I can show you that to everybody who's watching right now on YouTube. This is her. I remember seeing that photo. I remember seeing that face on American Most Wanted because that used to be like my favorite show. And I remember I would, when you look at some cases and you're like, how can this happen, right? So it says here that more than 27 years ago, Amy and her family set sail on a family cruise to the Caribbean. One night, Amy and Brad went to the pool party and ended up at the disco. And he said, we got up there, spent several hours there, talking to people and meeting people and having fun. He said, that's the brother. And as night fell, um, they were heading towards Curacao. Amy started to feel seasick in the room and decided to sleep in a chair on the balcony. She said, I'm going to stay out here on the chair lounge and get some fresh air and wind. I don't want to go into a closed room right now, she said. That's what the brother is telling the investigators because, she wasn't feeling good. She said, might as well just sit here. It's a beautiful now, probably thinking that let me get some fresh air. And, she probably fell asleep. So on March 24, 1998, the 23-year-old vanished in plain sight. And they're saying a shirt she was wearing was laid across on the chair in the room. So we know she came back into the room. That's what the brother said, Brad. There's a lot of haters online that said a lot of nasty things and basically saying that she's gone, she fell over and she jumped over. I can't guarantee those two things didn't happen. That's what the brother said. And this is why you have to be so careful when you hear about a case of a missing person. Like, to tell somebody, she just didn't want to be, anymore, basically. She just jumped over. She lied to you guys saying that she was going to have a nap here in the balcony, and then she ended up doing something horrible. You need to understand, right, that those are people, right, that have feelings that they're missing their loved one. That the last thing in their mind when they planned this trip was that one of them was not going to come home with them that day. So be more sensitive, right? We have to be so careful about what comes out of our mouth, right? And they're saying that her shirt was found in the chair inside the room. So they're saying she came back inside the room, right? She probably was ready to lay down in the bed and go to sleep, right? So it says here, the mystery in the middle of the ocean has lasted decades and thousands of thieves have come in from people claiming to have seen her. A Navy man who visited a brothel in Curacao, he wasn't supposed to be there, so he didn't report it because he didn't want to get in trouble. A couple of years later, he contacted us and said that there was a girl there who said, my name is Amy Bradley, I need help. Oh my goodness, imagine that. Imagine that somebody in your family is missing. Somebody said, I saw her and she said this is her name and that she needed help, right? Imagine hearing something like that, right? You want to drop everything and run, right? And tell authorities, let's go to that island or whatever, right? These sightings have yet led to any truth, it says here. Nearly 3 decades after, Amy's family still carries the weight of not knowing what happened to her. After several years pass, you figure out that the not knowing is the only thing that allows you to continue to have hope. I really hope, just this is a side note here. I hope that everybody who has been missing for longer than 10 years, right? We want everybody who's been missing to be found. But I pray right now in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ that God expose everything that's been done in the dark and exposing if people who've been missing, kidnapped for, let's just say, longer than 10 years, right? We want everybody out, but cases that families have been praying and crying out for a year, all the way to a decade, longer than that too, that they start coming out, that the captors get caught, right? They mess up and whatever it is that they're doing, and somebody will eventually cut them off, like it happened to the missing young girls. I think it was the Ariel Castro that had them, living in his home for 10 years. And one day he forgot to lock the door or something, and somebody saw them, the neighbor saw them. That's the type of thing that I'm praying for, that they get released. Everybody who's held captive right now, the families have been crying for years and years, that they get released, that they are found safe, that God puts people in their path so that they, get rescued fast, Lord. That's my prayer right now. And it says here, my parents and I, and this is what Brad is saying, I share this gut feeling that she's still alive, however, unrealistic that there might not be a lot of people. We're never going to give up, he said. Imagine, the family said, we're never giving up on finding her again. If you don't take opportunities and follow Liz, you know you're giving up on her, and we're not going to do that. That's what Brad said. The ongoing search for answers will be focused on the new documentary streaming on Netflix on July 16, like I told you guys. We're gearing up for it. Hopefully, that will be an avalanche of phone calls and emails from who knows where all over the world trying to help find her, said Bradley, that's the brother. And a worldwide search efforts continue. Our family has been to everything. Amy, I'm sure, has been through a lot. He said, please help us. If you have any information, I'm going to put this information here. So I'm telling you guys, if you have any information about Amy Bradley, you can contact the family tip line by calling the 804-789-4269 or by emailing the family Amy Bradley's missing at Gmail. The family has also set up a GoFundMe page to raise money to pursue credible leads, consult with experts, and obtain legal support whenever necessary to uncover the truth. And I didn't know about the GoFundMe, and you guys know I like that, so I'm gonna put the link for that. I see right now they have raised $3,000, so I will be sharing the link, you guys. Like I said, I just pray for her to be found quickly, right? So we're gonna pray for her. Continue to pray. If you cannot donate to the link, help this family get her back. I mean, like I said, the last thing in their mind, guys, was that one of them was gonna go missing when they planned that trip, right, in the cruise. And it's been so long for them to get an answer, right? And to know what happened to her, where is she, right? And all three of them, the mom, the dad, and the brother, they feel like she's alive, right? So we'll, we'll continue to pray. We'll continue to share her story. And like I said, in 2 days, right, the 16th, Netflix is going to do the documentary. I'm going to share the GoFundMe, guys, and you guys already know what to do with that. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the channel. Thank you to everybody who's listening in the podcast. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.